It's my favorite stock trading deal over here. I got my little watch lists. So you can go to change, so you can check out. It's kind of just a basic. So I got 2 watch lists. I've been filling them up a lot lately just because of the whole market, doing what it's doing. But I want to kind of show you just a couple little things that I use constantly. When I'm looking for trades. Boar here, that was a great trade. I came in over here at about the 40 cent mark, and I was like, you know what? What's up, everybody? Looking for, a nice big move. And sure enough, that's what I caught. I picked it up at like 55. I made $4 grand off of this. I actually set a limit sell, to $2, which would have picked up, but I ended up selling it actually like right here around, let's see, where were we? Yeah, somewhere right in this range, and it wasn't too long after that it popped up on the way to 2, which was fine. $4,000 off of that. The trade only cost about $1,500. I had a pretty good chunk of investment on there. What we are going to look at here is just a couple of little basics. So you can kind of scroll down on a stock, right, and you can see buy and sell orders. You can go down and see the flow, any large orders over the last 5 days. And you can see a lot of stuff. You got news, oil names off to a sizzling start for the OPEC deal, which may or may not be good this week, so more might come back down. I put another $1,500 in it. Looking to I'll definitely average that down because I know it'll recover when all the oil stuff goes away. They have right here, like, congratulations, board rose 19.98%. At this point, I can say I think it's going to be bearish, or I can go back and decide bullish again. It's kind of tough to say. If the OPEC stuff is good, then this is going to be great. So I'm going to leave it on bullish. You got your comments down here. Then you can go to analyst reviews, see what they're saying. Right now they got 100% hold. Your high price target is 7. Your low is 40 cent, mid 370. Okay, cool. So what are the indicators I got on my screen here, right? So the Bollinger Bands, and I've talked about this in some YouTube videos, and I'm going to actually upload this, but I'm also going to let you guys know the indicators that I use and how I use them very specifically, right? And I'll briefly explain it right here in this video since you're looking at it on my screen. The Bollinger Band, 50-day average moving is what I'm looking for. But I'm also looking for the third deviation, which is the 3, right here where it says BOLL, BOLL, and then a parentheses. So you see the mid price, the upper price, and the lower price. The upper price is the high that it's expecting, which actually is what hit dead on there, like 213. So you come back over here to the 30-minute chart, and we're seeing this where we call this a bottleneck, when it starts to go, and you can see it better on a lower time scale. It kind of starts to bottleneck a little bit there. This is where it's coming together, say 195. So why I like this is the third deviation is getting pushed on, and it immediately rejected it back in, right? So I did a great video on YouTube, one of my YouTube videos. You should totally check that one out as well. I think it was my favorite indicators to use. But basically the Bollinger Band on the third deviation is one of the limits that it doesn't hit very often, but when it does hit, it either bursts through it and goes way higher, or it pushes back down toward the middle band. You kind of think about this as a dog leash, to where the dog is running in the center line, and say he sees a rabbit, say that top line's a rabbit, he's going to run out to that rabbit, and eventually the rabbit's going to go away and he's going to come back. All right, say the bottom line is, a bird, and he goes to chase the bird for a minute, but then he comes back to the middle line where his chain is. All right, no big deal. Or a runner in line, whatever, no animals are harmed in this production. Anyway, so now my other favorite indicators are obviously the volume weighted moving average, the exponential moving average, and the general moving average, which are simple moving average, which is going to be like your slow lagging. EMA is also lagging, and Bollinger Bands are also sort of lagging, but at the same time, it's going to give you a good picture of what's expected possibly. Technical analysis is no guarantee, but it is a very good indication of where the price could go, even with news upsetting the current trend. So just remember that. So here's your exponential moving averages. I love the daily chart. You can see I got a trend line already drawn here. You see the connecting point from the yellow to the red is where, I'm probably going to be looking to go. The volume is spiking really nicely on this, as you can see on the RSI and the on-balance volume down here on the bottom. And if it peaks up higher, this could easily go to easily back to $4 to maybe $7 again. 9 right there in March 20. You just hold it on the candle and it'll go to it, and you can see the date. So that was actually January 20. That's right. OPEC did January 20. And then over here in February, this is when the coronavirus thing started really heating up. And then it just pushed everything down right here. And that's where you kind of hit the bottom. Like 316 was like the low for a lot of stocks. 316 to 320 was really low for a lot of stocks. And so I saw Bohr. It came up on the most oversold because I love looking at oversold and overbought stocks. So I can either use puts to go short on the short side, or I can obviously do calls or a certain strategy, debit spread, etc. But let's go back. So you kind of see, you got the watch list, and you have over here change in price. You can see the most expensive. Of course, you got the Dow, the S&P 500 is INX on here. Amazon. Amazon's doing great right now, back in 2000 already. Then you got low stuff. ARFXF is actually one I'm going to throw long term, $1,500. It's pretty down right now over the last 5 years, but they actually have a lot of potential, in my opinion. This is not financial advice by any means. So some of the ones I'm looking for, you see on the list, but this is not a watch list that I'm definitely investing in. These are just things I looked at. I would say OPK and Bohr are two positions I'm currently holding. Moleculin actually has a decent possibility to go somewhere. But these, again, it's not trading advice. This is my opinion on these moves. So anyway, we touch over here on the change. You can see where ICD, this oil company, they pumped up 167%. And you can see this beautiful spike here. This baby opened up on that day at $2.64 and went all the way to $13 before closing at $6. So that was either quite a pump and dump or a very good possibility of this returning back to the 20s. You see here 23 was in January when this whole thing started. And they actually were doing fairly well, but, it's a clear decline. We go to the monthly chart. You can see that ultimately this is just going down. If you would have caught it at that $1 mark right there, you made a lot of money on this. But anyway, let's go back. So hit change again. You can see the most loss on the trading day, which right here is 11% for Moleculin. After hours does show on here. You know what they did after hours. Ultimate Fish Hook. It's just more. These are my own indicators. And you go to all stocks and do it the same way. But what you can do, like Apple, you put them in alphabetical order. I always look at Boeing. Boeing's doing pretty great. It's at 155. And I was like, you know what, man, I need to look at Tesla real quick. Okay, so I hit that symbol button again. It goes the opposite direction. And now I'm over here with the T's, S's, and U's. There's Tesla, 595. Excellent. All right, and let's go ahead and check out SPY always. 279. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this chart, right? So there was my chart, and nobody believed me at 339 when I said it's pushing too hard on that top and it's gonna push back down. But it's exactly what it did. Too bad for me. I sold my put positions in January before this whole coronavirus thing hit, and they timed it just right because this baby hit hard. I personally think SPY is gonna go down this week. So I'm going to go ahead and push a little bear. Now, you get points. Whether or not that has any real, importance or not, that's irrelevant. But you see this V is actually forming a V. But in my opinion, what I think is going to happen is this here. So we expanded the page. I'll show you the one I already have drawn in just a minute. It's on IMPX. But this is what I think is going to happen. As soon as the market actually goes into effect, when they stop pumping all this Fed money in there, this is what I think is going to happen. All right, now whether it comes back down and tests this 200 level, or it could actually fall farther. And 180 is my dead bottom. I'm really not expecting it to go as low as what I originally expected, but I could be wrong. I feel like investors have changed over time, and I feel like they're going to actually sort of evolve just a little as a whole, instead of just expecting, okay, everything's going to crash. Let me get all my money out. So instead of doing that, they'll actually probably just maybe conserve X amount of cash and then possibly go ahead and, reinvest at a much lower price. So right now, SPY is way back up at 279. You see the clear bottom from 218 to 280 basically. But you can draw trend lines on here. You can separate. You can zoom in. You can go way out. You can make it look like you can't even see what you're seeing. You can go to the monthly. That's where you see these really long, trends. That big red bar now is actually my trend line I drew, which looks crazy on this chart because the candles are monthly. So we go to a year. We can actually see all the way back to when this was opened. Let me see. Yeah, 1993 in December is the year for this. So it actually goes really, really long. But you can also look at a 1 minute chart on Webull, and you can actually see what's happening by the minute, right? I really wish, and I actually sent feedback on this to them, that they need to have a 5, a 3, and a 1 minute chart, or the possibility to modify your time yourself because it doesn't give you that option. You can change the candles, you can put mountain, you can do full area, you can do line graphs. On the line graph, you can actually verify a fish hook really well on there. That's why I love those. You can do your standard candles, you got hollow candles, the Heiken, you got the bar candles. I don't know how to read any of those. I assume it's really price action is based the same, but I prefer these candles here. So the body of the candle obviously tells you your open, your low, your high, and your close. If you didn't know that, quick little briefing there. Go ahead and go back. I said I would show you IMPX. Let's see where we go. Yeah, Luckin Coffee is suspended trading. That's jacked because I really felt like I could get a nice move out of this right here. I bought right here in the $6 range, like $6.50. So now she's dead in the water over here. So F that. So here you go. Get out of the way. I'm not talking right now. Sorry, guys. So here's my chart, right? So it looks terrible on a daily. You can't see what's happening. Here's the monthly. This gives you a slightly better picture of what I'm talking about, right? And the notification you just saw is for the Discord chat. TCX. So you go to quarterly, and this is what I want to show. Because you can see all the way back over here. Look how far this goes back. This goes all the way back to, let's see, 1957. Holy macaroni. That's crazy. So you got these beautiful trend lines, right? But this W that you see is what I think is going to happen. I think that I have my EMA set to 92. So 1656. I believe the 15 to 1600 level of SPY, SP 500, Standard & Poor's 500 is most likely the bottom dollar that we're going to see. And I've been saying this for like 2.5 years. So anybody saying it now, is just whatever. Sorry about the pop-up that keeps popping up. But yeah, this is what the pre-trend I drew. And so far, as you see, if you look carefully at this is on a quarterly, so this is very long. This is like 3 months. You can see where my trend is actually going perfectly as planned so far. And I'm not saying it's going to be exactly right going across the W there from red to green, but I'm going to screenshot this periodically and, on my Instagram page or my Facebook page, The Real Fish Hook Trader, you can actually see a lot of the stuff that I post all the time on there. So if you ever want to follow what I have, you can see it there. But yeah, so I just want to show you guys, Webull, a couple of different things. Like you can do versus, we can look at the triple Qs. Let's see. We got SPY. Q. Okay, let's see what I got. Let me do that again. All right, here we go. All right, we got SPY. Let's do triple Qs and the miniature SPY, SPY, and let's just throw in AMD. All right. Okay, well, never mind. We only do 3. All right, here you go. So this can be very difficult to look at if you're not really, you don't really know what you're looking at. because you got to think, you got trend lines here, and you also have what you're trying to look at. So let's go to a day chart. All right, it's going to be a little better picture. All right, but now we need to change. We're going to get this EMA out of the way and go to, let's see. Come on, man, you're killing me. Get out of the way. Okay, I don't know what's, maybe I can't change it while I'm in this ad. Let's see. Did I just add a line? Hopefully I didn't take my line away. No. Okay, whatever. Scrap that. Okay, here we go. All right, so you see how we have no EMAs on there, but you can actually see these tiny little deals you got. And that is the Triple Q, SPY, and INX. You can actually see all running together. And the Triple Q is actually doing a little better, but you see that perfect W here right on this bar? Look at that. That's beautiful. For this day, you know, these 4 days back to back here, you had the big dive from here, all right? You plop down and gap down all the way from Triple Q was up 12%, and now it's down 5%, so it's up +7. And that right there was a beautiful indication of buying, and especially with this confirmation candle. Then you set through here, and then boom, right there, market gap up on 4.6. And this is all quantitative easing here. The Fed is just steady pumping money. We told you it was the mid of March was the collapse or recession, currently depression, whatever you want to call it. All right, over here they started pumping money. The 500 billion began. Now you got 500 billion going in this range, and it actually ends over here that you can't see the 13th, which is tomorrow, Monday of April, and I'm expecting a big drop to occur again back to the 240 range, more than likely over the next week or so, but it could take up to 3 to 4 weeks for that to take place. Again, it's not trading advice. Please don't buy any positions based on what I'm saying. I really enjoy showing people how to use this platform because I don't like TD Ameritrade. I don't like Thinkorswim, especially on the mobile. And I think this is such a great mobile charting platform. So you can change all kind of stuff. You can have including extended hours. You can turn them off. You can do combined or separate. Candle styles, of course. Position open orders. You can show while you're actually trading. Simplified chart, advanced chart. What you can also do, I don't want to expose my information here. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So there was 3 free stocks here. All right. So check this out. All right. So this was quite the drop here from $43 a share all the way to 10, and I got it at around 12 from my link or whatever. So they last paid dividends. So you can see that you can put the dividends, you can put earnings on here, you can put the reverse split and all that stuff, and actually have it built in. Again, you can see the news, you can see the comments. So let's see Viacom. Let's see what they got. Any good news articles? Not really. Let's see. There's one thing I was trying to find on here. Replay. Here you go. You can replay and actually see what's happening on the chart. Look at this. This is crazy. All right, and we can speed this up 120 times. And this actually shows you. I haven't figured out if you can put it in bars or not yet, but it's definitely in. You can see all the orders going through. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Or you can slow it way down and do tick by tick. And it's going to pretty much give you a replay of the day of the last trading business day that happened. I don't know if you can do this in market hours or not, but if you can, then that would be a good recap. If you're just trying to watch real quick what's going on, because you can sort of see price action occurring here, and you can look at the points for the day and actually see whether or not it's actually pushing on the same resistance and support levels, which is actually a beautiful thing now that I'm thinking about it. Because if we go real fast here, we can speed this process up. And you see, you got a clear support, and it broke through, but then it was a fake out. So now it's on the way back up the trend. All right, so now you're establishing a little bit. Okay, there you go. All right, so if you were to draw imaginary lines there, you could clearly say that that's a support resistance area. Now, as far as how fast this is going, I don't know what time frame you could really relate it to. Um, but all in all, it's looking like, so that's only 11:20 a.m. So chances are, you're gonna have to really focus on what time frame this actually is, because it's going by the second and the minute over here. But this is a super, super neat thing that you can do that, to my knowledge, you can't do on any other brokerage. But we're going to time out soon. So just go ahead and, you got comments on here. You can write comments. Not going to write any comments. You can put your favorites. And then if you click on this stuff here, you can actually do real-time quotes. These things all cost extra. You just got to pay attention. You can expand this. You can see, a lot of information that you have to really search for on other brokerages. It's so up in your face, The next ex-dividend date is March 13th. That already occurred. Next earnings is April 30 to 5/4. It's not confirmed yet. You got outstanding shares, the free float. You got all this stuff going on over here. Groupon, I've actually got a long call on this. But you see here how it's got the position 4 at $1.13. That's what I bought it for, right? And it went over. I could have sold it right here. It went up to 142, but I'm not concerned with that. I had a call on it. Went ahead and closed it out just because I don't want to look at it no more. But if you're approved for options, you can look at options on here. Here's your option chains, expiration dates. To me, it looks super sweet to go ahead and pull off this $1 call here. I'm not going to put my password because you can't let you guys see that. But we're going to go ahead and go back. If you wanted to trade, you go ahead and trade it. You can make notes on it. You can share it with somebody. You can set alerts, which is awesome. Like here I have these alerts. And you can pretty much set it to whatever you want. You set above, below, change it from percentage. Say it went down, 50% or 10% or whatever. Stuff like that. The repetition of how often you want to do it. You can check it every minute or unlimited. And I did that, and it was, oh my God, it was so many notifications. And then you have alerts here based on strategy, which is something that I actually don't recall. But check this out. You got strategy over here, but then you also have below 20-day moving average, 5-day, 10-day. This can actually be a really big help for a lot of people, right? New 52-week highs and new 52-week lows. Based on my trading experience, that hits a lot of people's scanners. A lot of people actually look for that. And when you have stocks that hit new 52-week highs and new 52-week lows, you can actually find really good positions to get yourself into sometimes. Same thing with sharp rise and sharp fall. That's going to blend a lot with the fishhook strategy. Now, I didn't come up with the fishhook strategy. It's been around for a long time. It's oversold and overbought positions. Basically, you have a hook and a reverse hook to where you get like basically a rocket ship takes off and creates a reverse fish hook that looks more like a check mark. And then you go the opposite direction and it does the same thing. So we'll close that out. But again, you can look at a lot of stuff on here, and it's pretty great actually. And it does live trade, and it's really neat. So those things you just have to got to pay attention to that stuff. But I love this platform. I'll share the link in the description. So if you feel like you want to go ahead and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and I'll promote a lot more videos in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and get this uploaded here soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this Webull tutorial. Please feel free to throw some questions and anything that I maybe have not went over. But again, I don't want to compromise my personal information. I don't know how to edit this video yet, so we'll see what's going on here. Hopefully I'll be able to get you guys out some great videos, maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. I want to try to get that going so I can actually put out a lot of good information for you guys and actually help people learn more about the stock market besides just following people's call outs and basically speculative trading as a whole, to where you're pretty much just gambling. So you need to have some sort of educated move before you start placing trades with money. I mean, especially in the time we're in right now, you don't want to just be throwing money away, right? So if you can turn around and swing $1,000 and turn it into $20,000 in a year by trading slowly and calmly, and not throw the whole $1,000 at one trade expecting to make 20 grand on it, which is possible for sure, but it's stupid. Don't do that. Don't be an idiot. All right. Don't be a dumb trader. Be a smart ass trader. Right. Excuse the language. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. Yeah. So these are just some of the stocks that are on my list. I am going to do a video on debit spreads sometime this week, because they are working tremendously well in this whole situation with the coronavirus and all that. Please, everybody, stay safe. And again, this is Webull. And here's another brief little look, and you can see different stocks, ETFs, United States, Canada, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin's nice down right now, under 7 grand again. Sorry, I know this. I sprung this on you. Global markets, you can see kind of what's going on. But this is a Sunday. Futures aren't open yet. They don't open until 6 p.m., so almost 10 hours from now. But you can see all this. It's super neat. I'm not going to lie. This is the best app that there is for trading, in my opinion. So you got a lot going on here. You can see Forex numbers as well. You can explore. Sorry, we'll get into this real quick. Temporary fish for swings. This is stuff I did. Fish hook buys 40% loss. That's a built-in scanner they have. High market value stocks. IPO center. Calendar earnings. 52-week. See, check this out. 52-week high and low. New high. All right, so you got these 52-week highs. And you got the new low. So there's your new lows for these. And that's just a couple stocks. You can look at a whole list there. High dividend paying stocks, obviously 170% is just ridiculous, because that's definitely not accurate as far as the company's probably going out of business. You got hot stocks down here, popularity levels. So, Ford, NEO, Groupon, Aurora Cannabis, ISBC. You got a lot going on here. There's so much in this app that's just crazy. You can see dividends coming. You can see splits coming up, or that already happened. And it's just a super, super great thing. So say we'll go to fish hook buys, and I find some of my trades on here without going to my Fidelity and do the built-in scanner that I created. But I have a lot of information just in this right here. Okay, so what about these stocks am I going to enjoy? I don't know. So we'll have to go through and look. But that's going to be all for now. I hope you guys like this, and there's another one here. So that's beautiful, 30% change. But I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You got a whole lot more to come. See you guys.